All right, hello again, Eagle Crest High School Orchestra and Mariachi students. Today we are going to be learning how to navigate Auralia and to kind of figure out what that's all about. Now I'm going to be showing you both of these different exercises because I want to make sure that we're both kind of on the same page with it. Orchestra students, you can definitely expect to get assignments like this in the future. For you, this is going to be more of a how do I get into everything and how do I access information, because your assignments for the week that I'm making these videos is not having to do with musician or Auralia. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go to pulse tapping because this one is a little interesting. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on that. I'm going to see pulse tapping. I'm going to read the explanation here. There's going to be a comment to the teacher where you can say either before or after. But if it's before, how excited you are to do pulse tapping, and if it's after, you can tell me how it was just an absolute joy and your family loved the sound of you tapping on your spacebar in a very consistent, timely manner. Okay, when it says open in Auralia, we're going to go ahead and click here, and this is going to bring me to the test, exactly the same way that it does in Musician. Okay, the two programs are they work hand in hand, but from here, it doesn't really look like I'm going to be able to spend enough time in practice until I feel confident enough to pass the quiz that's attached. In order to make it to that practice area, what I'm going to have to do is come back to my MusicFirst portal, go up to Software, click on Software, and then go to Auralia, click on Auralia, and it will launch the Auralia app in the browser. Ignore all of this stuff, okay, in tasks. What we're going to do is we're going to come over to Auralia with this little kind of Nautilus shell graphic, and then I'm going to come over here to pulse tapping because this is what we are going to be working on. Okay, the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm only doing level 1 of pulse tapping, if we remember. Take the lesson on pulse tapping level 1, okay? So I'm going to be coming here. I want to take the lesson, okay? So here I'm going to be looking at this, and I see where it's telling me these numbers, okay? It's telling me these are where the beats are. 1 and 2E and a 3E and a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So one way to think about this is that whenever you're listening to a piece of music, this is what you're going to be bobbing your head to, or tapping your foot or clapping your hands, okay? That's what the beat is. Okay, so, or that's what the pulse is. So when we're talking about pulse tapping, you're just trying to find the beat of what's being heard, okay, by tapping your foot, or in this case, your space bar to it. All right, I'm going to let you go through all of this stuff on your own because that's generally what you do. Now, when we go to level 1, tap the pulse of the melodic extracts in 2/4 and 3/4 containing half notes, quarter notes, and eighth notes. What I need to do is I need to find kind of like where the bump is happening in the music, okay? So, it's going to tell me begin tapping before the start of bar 5. If you see, that's going to be this line right here. You can tap by clicking with your mouse or using your keyboard spacebar. I'm going to use my keyboard spacebar because it's a little bit more percussive and it's a little bit easier for me to do that. You can also change the tempo here if you want. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play and then just start listening. So I'm feeling 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and you can see I was sitting there trying to figure it out. How'd it go, boom, and then there I go. Okay, started tapping along with the beat. And it will show you all of your correct taps, which also means that if we did it again, it will show us if we do wrong taps. Okay, so it's going to show me, whoa, I did really bad there. Now you can see all the times that I tapped wrong. Now hopefully that was a little painful for all of you to hear. But look, I got 20 in time on complete accident. Okay, so that's how the pulse tapping exercise works. Okay, now the other, when I'm ready and I feel like I'm really good at pulse tapping level 1, I'm going to go over here to taps, or to this one, and I'm going to complete the quiz. I'm going to complete this quiz here. Okay, I imagine that since this one takes a little bit longer, I'm going to reduce the number of the questions here. So that just is kind of something I need to put on my plate really quick. But this is generally how this works, okay? And the same thing is I'm going to hit start, and this test, quote unquote, is going to be exactly like practice. It just is going to, you're only going to have one shot at it, and you're going to go for the best score that you can get. Okay, now once I've done that and I've submitted it, then it will go ahead and right here, okay, next to it, it will show that the assignment is submitted. And when I log into MusicFirst, it will tell me that I have a certain number of things to grade. Okay, now the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here to chord comparison. This is something that is really useful to all of us. Here, once again, is the name of the assignment, the description of the assignment, and then the comment to the teachers saying how much you've loved this video series and you just are infinitely grateful to me and will remember this moment for the rest of your natural life. And then once you've done that, we're going to go ahead and open in Auralia. And once again, we will see the test field. We'll see sort of like this test area, which is not going to be helpful to us at this point in time because what do we do in chord comparison? I don't recommend that you jump right into it without knowing what you're going to do. So we're going to come back here, go to software, click Auralia. It's going to bring up this platform. Remember, this is also exactly how Musician works. I'm going to click on Auralia. I'm going to go to chord comparison. And for this one, remember, lesson in level 1 of chord comparison. So all I need to do is take the lesson that's going to get me through all of that. Now the fun thing here is that it's going to play all of these for me so I can get a sense of it. Right? So you're going to get a sense of what this major sound is, what this minor sound is. Okay? And then it's going to give you a few of the wonky ones, the augmented chord, which is the Star Wars chord, the diminished chord, which is the Stuck on the Train Tracks chord, and the dominant 7th chord, which is a barbershop. Okay, if I want to keep going in this, then it's going to go all the way through. Once I get past the introduction, I would go through all the way through minor chords. You can go through 1st, 2nd inversion, but once we get to dominant 7th and wonky chords like that, you can pretty much stop. Okay, now I'm going to go back here to chord comparison and then start to practice in level 2. All I have to do here is determine whether or not the two chords sound different. Okay? And those sound the same to me, and I know I'm right because they're both minor chords. And then I'm going to go to the next one. Okay? Oh, those sound different. We got a major and an augmented chord, so those are going to sound different. Okay? Oh, and those are the same. But if I click different, then what will happen is it will tell me this. So if it says, do you wish to try again, that's their very subtle way of saying you're wrong. Okay, now when there's only two possible answers, you can pretty much be certain that you'll be right the second time, as long as you remembered what your first answer was. I'm going to hit no, and then it's going to tell me that I was wrong, and then it's going to tell me that I got a 67% average because I've only gotten 2 out of 3. Okay? And then once I'm feeling really confident in this, I'm going to come here and I'm going to go ahead and answer all of these questions. And once I'm done with that, then I will be done. I'm going to do this for these 5 things. Okay? All right, and that is Auralia.